Hello everyone, my name is Wycliffe Nyafonga and I'm an NGO fundraising and resource mobilization expert. Now today we are beginning a very exciting series on supporting NGOs to understand call for proposals in order to place or advance high quality technical application documents that can actually win. Now what we are doing right now is that we are breaking down each and every call for proposals, looking at the eligibility criteria and all the issues and the areas that they need NGOs to look into before or during application. We aim to build the capacity of NGOs to present a very credible technical proposal or technical document during application process. I've worked as a proposal reviewer as well as writing technical proposals. So I want to use the knowledge and the skills that I've acquired over time to bring NGOs, especially in the global south, closer to winning grant applications. So now today we are looking at a funding opportunity by an NGO called Urgent Action Fund Africa. I want to pronounce the name very clearly to help you to go and Google and actually access the further details. So it's called Urgent Action Fund. The focus area is to invest in women rights organizations and networks in Africa. I want to begin by letting you know that organizations are now, donors are now increasingly focusing on networks and consortiums because they want to focus on value for investment while at the same time improving structures and systems so that NGOs can respond properly to social issues while also preserving the value for their investment. So we are unpacking one of the most exciting funding opportunities currently available for African NGO. And the Urgent Action Fund is a African feminist grantmaker. It was established in the year 2001, and it supports women organizations, feminist movement, and networks across Africa. Actually, it responds to what we call power imbalance by equipping women organizations with authority, information, and power to respond to issues that undermine the opportunity and participation of women. The grant will be between a maximum of $200,000 and will be implemented for a maximum of 30 months. And the deadline for application is on 12th of August. So what is this funding all about? The funding is designed to strengthen women rights organizations. We call it WROs and the networks themselves. So what they seek to do is to build systems and capacity so that these organizations can respond appropriately to the issues that are affecting women. I also need to mention this for the sake of creativity, that they are largely interested in organizations that respond to episodes of issues and emergencies that can be predicted, but that violates the right of women. So then once they support you, you need to prove during the technical application that it will lead to a sustainable, stronger movement, providing long-term impacts. There should be short-term gains, low-hanging fruits, as well as medium-term and long-term impact. If you are an organization working in the following areas, then you qualify: women rights organizations, feminist organizations, women networks, coalitions, national or regional alliances, and you are legally operating in the continent. Now, you must be registered. That one I don't need to mention. You must operate within a geographical scope, and there has to be evidence of previous similar project or activity that you implemented. So what are the issues that you can do? What are some of the projects? We decided to mention this to help you in your thinking or project design. Gender justice, which is protecting and advancing the rights of women. So they are very particular about the aspect of justice. So when you're designing a project in that area, notice that. Then there is what we call economic justice or distributive justice if you are also focused on political philosophy. Women livelihoods, economic empowerment, financial inclusion, decent work, and women entrepreneurship. All these programs should be structured as social enterprises with a very strong emphasis on sustainability. And you have to demonstrate a clear and a stronger linkage between poverty and what is called the issues that undermine the rights of women. You know, the problem tree that we always talk about. You can focus on climate and environmental justice, which is something I will do for myself because I know the correlation. Talking about climate resilience, natural resource governance, women participation in climate action. But sometimes I always advise people to do what is called gendered women right, climate sensitive empowerment, so that we bring those two issues together. Democratic governance, women political participation, especially if you're operating from a place like Kenya where we are headed to election. That is an urgent issue that they can fund. Strengthening the leadership of women, enhancing civic engagement, advocacy and policy for a fair competition environment. You can do on conflict transformation where you do peace building, protecting of women rights, defenders. This is the project I did in the first, protecting of women, WHRDs. It's a very critical component where you equip civil society organizations with the knowledge on how to gather evidence, disseminate it, advocacy, work with what is called community actors or community champions. All this align perfectly with the Urgent Action Fund Africa's broader mission to support women agency. Now, I need you to look at 5 things. They have not indicated this, but I need to advise you on 5 things I know Urgent Action Fund will be probably looking out for in organizations. So they are not just investing in activities, but you must demonstrate that the project will strengthen governance, financial systems, leadership capacities, and enhance lesson learning and feedback. But then you must also have policies safeguarding the governance policies such as human resource, financial management, your board management criteria. I've seen this over and over again. Then your theory of change must be very clear. Remember, there was a problem, then you respond to those specific problems as objective. Then now you have to develop what is called clear theory of change. If we do this, then we will achieve this because of this, leading to this. So that is how the theory of change works nowadays. So you have to explain the problem, the root causes, and of course it is the root causes that you will transform into objectives, the intervention, the expected transformation, and then you have to explain the sustainability. I would propose that organizations that apply are in networks. Coalitions don't apply as individual. Collaborating regionally, you can do that so that you can expand the scope. Peer learning and collective advocacy. I always tell people to always think of innovation. And innovation does not mean artificial intelligence as most people will think. Do we have a system for community-led accountability? Is there digital advocacy, which is low cost and sustainable? Is the budgeting process participatory? Do we have a feminist technology drafted into the design? What is the process of financing? Is it creative for sustainability? And what is the significant investment in the participation of youth into the program? So sustainability is something we've talked about in the past in the videos. What happens after the project ends? So you can show institutional strengthening. You can do aspect of social enterprises, especially if you're doing the economic empowerment. You can link up women with other organizations for partnership, capacity building. So can I give you an example of strong projects that you can apply? Number one is women-led climate justice hubs. Women-led climate justice hubs. So I'm empowering women, justice places, but then they are climate sensitive. Under this project, you will also train women farmers, climate smart agriculture, we call it CSAPs, market access, digital weather information, carbon awareness. You can do an example too, like Women Economic Accelerator Program. I've done this also, where you do what is called business incubation, micro enterprises, digital marketing, access to finance or mentorship. And then I will give you 2 more examples, like digital safety for women human rights defenders. I also did this in informal settlement in Nairobi, Kenya, where we were training women rights organization on how to safely gather evidence. Cybersecurity, online protection, emergency response, digital evidence collection. That is actually what we did. Example 4, we can do a project on women in local governance initiative, where you look at leadership development, election preparedness, country like Kenya, policy advocacy, community scorecard, and citizen engagement. Now, don't write generic proposals. This is a mistake you do. Be very creative. Elevate what is called your past experience and scale it. Ensure that if you are touching profile, it must be result-based profile. Always generate evidence, citation, and also your experience as evidence. Do activity-based budget. Attach what is called sustainability plan. They never talked about this, but it's very critical. Ensure that the monitoring systems are very strong. Don't induce weak monitoring system. Be very creative and innovation. So in closing, my strategic advice is this. This is not the right donor if your project is only about constructing infrastructure or delivering services without women's strong participation. We are purely focusing on institutional strengthening, women movement, women leadership, economic justice, climate justice policy. So I read the technical proposal in detail. We reviewed it, and I believe that it should help you to pitch or to advance a very strong proposal. Anytime you are applying grant proposal, ensure that your title is integrated under what we call in proposal writing, narrative engineering. That is why we use climate justice, economic hub. You bring 2 or 3 things together so that it helps to incorporate cross-cutting issues into the proposal writing process. So we really wish you the best. Go for it. Work out your problem tree. Identify areas that may interfere with the success of your proposal. Avoid generic terms. Go to the website and check the language that the guys are using. And use the same language. We call it social nomenclature for the feminist organization. So thank you so much. Follow us as we break down all of the funding, all call for proposal to help you advance a very winning technical proposal. Thank you for now. See you in the next video.